with scores of users crediting the drug for their weight loss success.
Hollywood isn't glowing up, it's wasting away. The stars you grew up idolizing are vanishing in plain sight, their bodies shrinking while the cameras keep rolling. What looks like discipline is desperation. What's praised as beauty is often chemical calculated and dangerous. Behind every shocking transformation is a secret no one wants exposed. Tonight we uncover the drug-fueled race to stay thin and the terrifying cost paid when fame demands you disappear. Chelsea Handler, breaking Hollywood's code of silence. Chelsea Handler was never supposed to be the warning story. She was the one who laughed at Hollywood's obsession with perfection, sharp, fearless, untouchable. But when her body began to change almost overnight, even she couldn't ignore what was happening. Thinner, sharper, applauded by cameras, quietly punished behind closed doors. Unlike most celebrities, Chelsea did the unthinkable. She told the truth. In a town built on denial, Handler admitted she had joined the same pharmaceutical weight loss trend sweeping Hollywood, a drug never meant for vanity casually handed out like candy by anti-aging doctors. No long consultations, no real warnings. Just a promise, get thin fast. What followed was brutal. Chelsea described waves of nausea so violent she couldn't function, mood swings that fractured close relationships, and digestive issues so severe they sent her seeking medical care. It felt like I was poisoning myself for vanity, she confessed, a sentence that sliced through Hollywood's polished illusion. The most disturbing part wasn't the side effects. It was how normal it all seemed. This wasn't underground. This was mainstream, encouraged, even celebrated. And by the time Chelsea realized what the drug was doing to her body, it was already too late. Quitting didn't save her overnight. Months later, she was still battling exhaustion, lingering health problems, and the emotional fallout of what she now calls the worst decision she's ever made for her body. The glow-up faded. The damage didn't. Fans who once envied her transformation now see something far darker, a cautionary tale hidden behind red carpet photos and filtered smiles. Chelsea Handler didn't just lose weight. She lost her sense of safety in her own body. And by speaking out, she shattered Hollywood's most dangerous rule: never reveal the cost of looking perfect. Katy Perry, when the firework starts to flicker. Katy Perry was built for spectacle. Neon wigs, cupcake bras, fireworks literally exploding behind her subtlety was never the brand. She didn't enter pop culture, she crash-landed in it. So when Katy began appearing thinner, quieter, almost fragile, fans weren't dazzled. They were confused, and then concerned. This wasn't a bold new era. This felt like low battery mode. Red carpet photos showed sunken cheeks, sharper angles, and a body so slim it looked like it had been edited by Hollywood itself. Photographers who once adored shooting her now mutter about challenging lighting. Makeup artists reportedly work miracles backstage, layering contour like they're restoring an old painting. Add fullness here, hide exhaustion there. Smile, please. Offstage, the tone shifts from pop fantasy to dark comedy. Crew members from private events describe a Katy who looked drained, needing frequent breaks, sometimes even assistance after long appearances. This is the same woman who once performed entire tours like cardio was a personality trait. Now the energy crashes faster than a forgotten TikTok trend. Naturally, speculation runs wild. Stress burnout, a mystery illness. Or Hollywood's favorite uninvited guest, pharmaceutical weight loss. Katy says nothing. And in celebrity culture, silence isn't peace. Whispers of mood swings and sudden fatigue follow her everywhere. For a performer whose identity was built on loud confidence and technicolor joy, the contrast is jarring. It's like watching a firework that never quite explodes, just fizzles awkwardly in mid-air. Katy Perry once filled stadiums with sound, color, and attitude. Now fans aren't asking about her next hit. They're asking if she's okay. James Corden, the glow-up that broke the joke. For years, James Corden was Hollywood's exception. The funny guy who didn't pretend to be ripped. The host who joked about his weight before anyone else could. His appeal was simple charm over abs, honesty over illusion. He made millions of viewers feel like you didn't have to look perfect to belong on the biggest stages. Then he changed. Fast. When James reappeared noticeably slimmer, the applause came automatically, but it didn't last. Something felt off. The weight loss wasn't gradual, it was sudden, sharp, and suspiciously dramatic. Hollowed cheeks, sagging skin, a tiredness that didn't match the just walking more explanation he offered. That story sounded nice, it just didn't sound true. Medical experts quietly pointed out the red flags timelines that don't align with lifestyle changes, facial shifts commonly linked to rapid pharmaceutical weight loss, and that unmistakable drained look no salad ever caused. The glow-up had a deadline, not a journey. Behind-the-scenes whispers painted a different picture. Crew members from his final seasons described a host who wasn't the same. Frequent breaks replaced long tapings. Energy dropped. Filming schedules adjusted around stamina. The man who once sang in traffic now looked winded walking across the set. Social media noticed too. Fans tracked sudden gaps in posting, carefully angled photos, and a sudden obsession with controlling the narrative. For someone whose brand was authenticity, the silence felt strategic and loud. That's where the comedy stopped. James Corden didn't just lose weight. He lost the one thing audiences trusted most, the sense that he was being real. Hollywood loves transformation, but it punishes dishonesty. And when a public figure sells a story experts quietly call medically implausible credibility becomes the real casualty. This isn't about being thin, it's about when the guy who built his career on telling the truth suddenly sounds rehearsed. Lizzo. When the loudest voice gets quieter. For years, Lizzo wasn't just an artist, she was armor. Loud, radiant, and unapologetic, she stood in direct opposition to everything Hollywood quietly demands of women. She didn't just talk about body positivity, she embodied it. Curves were power. Confidence was rebellion. And taking up space was the point. Then Lizzo got smaller. When photos of a noticeably slimmer Lizzo surfaced, the reaction wasn't applause, it was confusion. This wasn't gradual. It wasn't subtle. It was fast, dramatic, unmistakably Hollywood. Fans didn't celebrate a glow-up. They asked the question no one wanted to ask. Why? The irony hit hard. The industry's most visible critic of toxic beauty standards now appeared to be following them. Social media turned ruthless overnight. One comment cut through the noise and went viral. So body positivity was just a brand. Suddenly, Lizzo wasn't just changing, she was being judged as a symbol. Behind the scenes, whispers painted a harsher reality. Insiders claim mounting pressure from record labels, declining streaming numbers, and the unspoken rule that women must stay marketable at all costs. Empowerment is powerful until it interferes with profit. Then the message gets rewritten. Publicly, Lizzo kept smiling. Privately, sources say she struggled. The backlash wasn't just about weight, it was about identity. Fans felt betrayed. Critics smelled hypocrisy. Supporters begged for compassion. And Lizzo reportedly admitted something devastating. She felt like she hadn't just lost weight, she'd lost a piece of herself. That's Hollywood's cruelest trick. It celebrates authenticity, then punishes anyone who actually lives it. It rewards confidence right up until confidence takes up too much space. Lizzo once told the world they were perfect exactly as they were. Now, her story feels less like inspiration and more like a warning. Mindy Kaling, the relatable star who rewrote the script. For years, Mindy Kaling was Hollywood's comfort zone. Smart, funny, successful, and refreshingly unconcerned with fitting into a sample-size narrative. She made a career out of being real, curves included. That honesty wasn't just likable, it was her brand. Then came the transformation. Almost overnight, Mindy appeared dramatically slimmer. No build-up, no gradual shift. Just a new silhouette that raised eyebrows faster than applause. Fans tried to be supportive, but the math didn't add up. Sustainable change takes time. This looked more like a deadline. Officially, Mindy credited healthy habits and feeling good in her skin. Hollywood's favorite sentence. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered a different story, one involving high-profile projects, unforgiving beauty standards, and quiet pressure to look the part. Relatable is charming until the camera gets close. What unsettled fans most wasn't the weight loss. It was the energy shift. The woman who once joked about imperfection now seemed cautious, guarded, hyper-aware of her appearance. Carefully angled photos, vague answers, confidence replaced by control. The satire is obvious. Hollywood celebrates women who break the mold right up until it asks them to squeeze back into it. Mindy Kaling didn't just change her body, she changed the relationship she had with her audience. And that's the real plot twist, because when the queen of relatability starts feeling rehearsed, people don't argue about pounds. They wonder what it cost her to stay in the story. Rebel Wilson, the year of health that raised red flags. When Rebel Wilson announced her year of health, the reaction was instant applause. Here was the beloved comedian promising balance, discipline, and self-improvement. She shared workout clips, motivational quotes, and a story that felt refreshingly achievable. Fans believed her transformation was proof that consistency, not shortcuts, could beat Hollywood's brutal beauty standards. Then the weight came off. Rapidly. The speed of the change made people pause. This didn't look like slow, steady progress. Medical experts quietly pointed out signs often associated with rapid medically assisted weight loss. The timeline simply didn't fit the story being sold. Behind the scenes, whispers grew harder to ignore. Insiders claimed Rebel's journey wasn't as natural as advertised, and that's where the discomfort began. Rebel hadn't just shared her transformation, she'd turned it into a brand. Fitness inspiration, lifestyle advice, endorsements. All built on the promise that her success came from methods anyone could follow. Fans felt conflicted, some still cheered, others felt misled. Even those close to her reportedly noticed changes, mood swings, fixation on appearance, and distance from anyone who questioned the narrative. The irony is sharp. A journey meant to empower may now stand as a cautionary tale. Because in Hollywood, it's not weight loss that damages trust, it's pretending the path was effortless and expecting the audience not to notice when the story starts to crack. Jonah Hill trapped in Hollywood's endless loop. Jonah Hill has never fit neatly into Hollywood's box, and that was the point. His honesty about body image, insecurity, and pressure made him relatable in an industry built on pretending everything is effortless. But his latest transformation has shifted the conversation from admiration to concern. Photos show Jonah thinner than ever, not lean gaunt, hollowed. The kind of thin that doesn't read healthy but urgent. Fans noticed immediately. So did health experts who warned that extreme weight cycling can be more dangerous than staying the same size. Insiders describe a familiar pattern. Jonah gains weight naturally. Hollywood panics. Then comes the drastic reversal. Sudden disappearances, sudden reappearances. Each time his body looks more strained, his expression more guarded. The cycle repeats and each round takes a deeper toll. What's most unsettling isn't the physical change, it's the emotional one. Once known for self-deprecating humor and openness, Jonah now appears withdrawn and hyper-controlled. His public presence is carefully curated, his image is polished and strategic. The fun, loose energy that made audiences connect with him feels replaced by fear of judgment, constant scrutiny, constant comparison. An industry that rewards transformation but ignores the damage it causes. But Jonah Hill's story isn't a transformation, it's a warning. Because when someone keeps changing their body just to survive, the real question isn't how much weight they've lost, it's how much of themselves they've had to give up to stay visible. Scott Disick, from party prince to a cautionary figure. Scott Disick was once reality TV's favorite wildcard. Sharp-tongued, well-dressed, overflowing with confidence, he played the role of the eternal playboy perfectly. Youthful, flashy, untouchable. Aging, it seemed, was something that happened to other people. Then Scott started to change fast. Recent appearances stunned fans. Hollow cheeks, sunken eyes. A frame so thin it seemed to age him overnight. This wasn't a gradual evolution. It was a sudden collapse of the image he'd spent years protecting. Social media lit up with concern, not compliments. Insiders say the transformation happened in a matter of months, coinciding with mounting pressure to stay relevant inside the Kardashian media machine, a universe where youth is currency and aging is quietly punished. On-camera makeup artists reportedly worked overtime to soften his gaunt look. Off-camera, the worry was harder to hide. Those close to Scott, including members of the Kardashian family, are said to have tried intervening. The concern wasn't cosmetic, it was behavioral. Friends describe mood swings, withdrawal, and a growing obsession with maintaining a youthful appearance. The life of the party now avoids the party altogether. The satire is cruel. Scott once wore vanity like armor. Now it appears to be eating him alive. Hollywood rewards reinvention, but only when it looks effortless. When it looks desperate, the applause turns into whispers. Scott Disick didn't just lose weight. He lost the illusion that charm alone could protect him from time. Jessica Simpson. The cost of looking perfect again. Jessica Simpson has lived her entire adult life under a microscope. From pop princess to fashion mogul, every pound she gained or lost became a headline. For years, she earned respect by being honest about pregnancy, weight, body shame, and the brutal pressure to bounce back. Fans trusted her because she never pretended it was easy. Then came the latest transformation. Jessica appeared dramatically slimmer, almost unrecognizable, and the internet didn't applaud it analyzed. The change was fast. Too fast. Fitness experts quietly questioned the timeline, pointing out that extreme results rarely come from discipline alone. Social media users noticed suspicious gaps in posting, followed by perfectly polished photos that felt more like damage control than celebration. Whispers painted a harsher picture. Former staff and insiders allegedly witnessed obsessive weigh-ins, extreme food restriction, and mood swings that disrupted schedules. The woman once praised for vulnerability now seemed trapped in control mode. That's what made this moment sting. Jessica built her brand on relatability, the idea that you didn't have to be perfect to be successful. Now fans wondered if that honesty had quietly been replaced by illusion. Not because she lost weight, but because the truth felt missing. The satire is painful. Hollywood praises women for being real, then punishes them the second their bodies stop fitting the fantasy. Jessica Simpson didn't just change her appearance. She reopened an old wound, the impossible expectation that women must constantly shrink, improve, and smile while doing it. Her story isn't about vanity, it's about survival in an industry that never stops keeping score. Sharon Osbourne. When weight loss crossed the line. Sharon Osbourne has never been known for silence. Sharp-tongued, fearless, and brutally honest, she built her public image on saying what others wouldn't. Which is why when her weight loss spiraled into something alarming, Sharon did the rarest thing in Hollywood: she told the truth. And it wasn't pretty. What started as a simple desire to slim down quickly turned extreme. Sharon admitted she lost so much weight that even close friends barely recognized her. The compliments came first, then the weakness, the nausea, the constant illness. Eating became a struggle. Walking across a room felt exhausting. The body everyone praised was quietly failing her. The most disturbing part? Stopping didn't fix everything. Sharon revealed that even after quitting the medication, the damage lingered. Digestive issues, difficulty regaining healthy weight, a body that no longer responded the way it once did. The so-called miracle had left a mess behind, but Sharon went further. She admitted the real danger wasn't just physical, it was psychological. The rapid transformation was addictive. Watching the numbers drop became intoxicating even as her health deteriorated. Logic lost to obsession. Applause drowned out warning signs. The satire is brutal. Hollywood worships honesty until honesty exposes the machine. Sharon's confession ripped the curtain back on a truth many celebrities won't touch. These shortcuts can permanently change your body, and not in the way Instagram promises. Sharon Osbourne didn't just lose weight, she nearly lost herself trying to keep it off. And by speaking up, she became something Hollywood hates even more than aging, a living warning. Amy Schumer. When vanity collided with motherhood. Amy Schumer built her career on brutal honesty. She mocked Hollywood's obsession with thinness, joked about her own insecurities, and made a brand out of saying what everyone else was too polished to admit. which made her sudden weight loss impossible to ignore and impossible to fake. At first, the change looked like a win. Headlines praised her slimmer appearance. Fans speculated. Hollywood nodded approvingly. But behind the scenes, Amy was unraveling. She later admitted the truth. She tried weight loss medication and it wrecked her. Constant nausea, crushing fatigue, violent mood swings. She described feeling poisoned, trapped inside a body that couldn't tolerate what Hollywood was applauding. The glow-up everyone admired came with a cost no red carpet photo showed. The breaking point wasn't a mirror. It was her son. Amy confessed she was often too sick to play with him, too exhausted to be present. Moments she would never get back were slipping away, all for the sake of looking smaller. That realization cut deeper than any industry pressure ever could. Unlike most celebrities, Amy didn't spin the story. She didn't rebrand it as discipline or willpower. She walked away, publicly. She admitted her body wasn't built for shortcuts and that no career boost was worth sacrificing her health or her role as a mother. The irony is sharp. Hollywood rewards silence and suffering. Amy chose neither. In a town obsessed with shrinking women, she refused to disappear for approval. Amy Schumer didn't just quit a drug, she rejected a lie. And in an industry where image often matters more than life itself, that kind of honesty is the most radical transformation of all. Oprah Winfrey. When the Queen of Truth faces her loudest backlash. For decades, Oprah Winfrey wasn't just a celebrity, she was a compass. Millions trusted her voice, her vulnerability, her promise of authenticity. She spoke openly about weight struggles, emotional eating, and the damage caused by endless dieting. Oprah didn't sell perfection. She sold honesty. And that honesty became her empire. Then she said it. Oprah admitted she was using weight loss medication. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Fans didn't just feel surprised, they felt betrayed. The woman who once warned against quick fixes had quietly embraced one. And when Oprah speaks, people listen. That's the problem. Critics weren't focused on her body, they were focused on her influence. Oprah isn't just another celebrity trying something new. She's a wellness authority to millions who followed her guidance for years. By normalizing pharmaceutical weight loss, many argue she gave dangerous validation to a trend that most people can't safely access or afford. The contradiction is hard to ignore. Oprah can afford elite doctors' constant monitoring and immediate intervention if something goes wrong. Her audience cannot. Yet the message still landed. Even Oprah needed help shrinking. Supporters say her honesty is refreshing proof that even icons struggle. Detractors call it hypocrisy. The woman who told audiences to love themselves now appears caught in the same trap she helped others escape. In a culture obsessed with transformation, Oprah Winfrey's confession isn't just personal, it's seismic. Because when the ultimate symbol of self-acceptance turns to shortcuts, it forces an unsettling question if even Oprah couldn't resist the pressure who really can. Comment below, should icons be held to a higher standard, or are they allowed to break too? Kourtney Kardashian, the wellness queen under a microscope. For years, Kourtney Kardashian carefully separated herself from the rest of the family brand. While her sisters embraced excess, Kourtney sold restraint, clean eating, organic living, balance. She positioned herself not just as a reality star, but as a guide the Kardashian who rejected shortcuts and preached natural health through her wellness empire. Then her appearance changed. Almost overnight, Kourtney looked noticeably slimmer, sharper, more sculpted. Fans noticed immediately and not in a celebratory way. This wasn't a slow lifestyle shift, it was precise, fast, almost clinical. For someone whose entire brand rests on patience and purity, the timeline raised uncomfortable questions. Officially, Kourtney credited clean food discipline and mindful living, the same language printed across her supplement labels and wellness posts. But behind the scenes, medical experts and industry insiders quietly pointed out signs that didn't align with purely holistic methods. Whispers of pharmaceutical assistance grew louder, the very shortcuts her brand subtly warns against. And that's where the controversy ignited. Kourtney isn't just changing her body, she's selling a philosophy. supplements, detoxes, lifestyle advice marketed as natural solutions for everyday people. If her transformation wasn't achieved, the way she promotes the issue isn't vanity, it's trust. Fans aren't questioning her right to change, they're questioning whether they were sold a fantasy. Even within the Kardashian circle, tension is rumored to be brewing. Sources suggest concern that Kourtney's silence and carefully staged posts are creating cracks in the family's carefully managed credibility. Interviews remain vague, answers stay evasive. The less she explains, the louder the speculation becomes. The irony is sharp. Kourtney built her brand on transparency and wellness, yet now offers neither. In an industry where health is a billion-dollar aesthetic, authenticity isn't optional. It's the product. John Goodman, when a legend is told to get smaller. For decades, John Goodman was Hollywood's comforting constant. A booming laugh, a larger-than-life presence, and a face audiences trusted. He didn't need to be sleek or sharp. He was solid. The kind of actor who made scenes feel lived-in, human, real, which is why his recent appearance stopped people cold. He didn't walk into the room. He seemed to vanish inside it. Fans barely recognized him at first. Hollow cheeks, a gaunt frame, a face that looked like it had been aggressively updated. Social media erupted in disbelief. That can't be John Goodman. Is he okay? The shock wasn't admiration, it was alarm. The cruel joke, John Goodman never needed a makeover. But Hollywood doesn't care about need, it cares about relevance. Insiders whisper that even with a legendary career, Goodman wasn't immune to the industry's quiet threats. Younger actors, smaller bodies, modern looks, subtle suggestions that sounded polite but landed hard, adapt or be replaced. For a man whose presence once filled the screen, the message was clear: take up less space. So he did, and the cost came fast. Rumors of health scares, alleged emergency hospital visits, friends reportedly staging private interventions. His representatives stayed silent, which only fueled concern. In Hollywood, silence is never reassurance. What makes Goodman's story sting is how unnecessary it all feels. Audiences loved him as he was. His weight was never a flaw, it was part of his warmth, his authenticity, his power. Yet even icons aren't protected from an industry obsessed with shrinking men down to marketable outlines. Now fans aren't praising a transformation, they're pleading for him to stop. Because this wasn't a glow-up, it was a warning. If Hollywood can convince John Goodman, a legend with nothing left to prove, that he needs to disappear a little to survive, then the message to everyone else is terrifyingly clear. In this town, talent may be timeless, but bodies are apparently negotiable. Elon Musk, when Silicon Valley joins the Ozempic era. Elon Musk is used to controlling the future. Rockets, cars, AI, Twitter timelines. So when his body suddenly changed noticeably, leaner, sharper, almost sculpted, the internet did what it always does, speculated wildly. Ozempic rumors spread fast, and unlike Hollywood stars who dodged the question, Musk did something unexpected. He admitted it. Yes, he said he was using a weight loss drug, Wegovy. No shame, no apology, just a tweet casually dropped as if discussing a software update. In classic Musk fashion, transparency came wrapped in nonchalance. And that's what made it unsettling. Because when Elon Musk normalizes pharmaceutical weight loss, it doesn't just reach fans, it reaches culture. This wasn't about vanity or red carpets. This was about efficiency, optimization, hacking the body the same way he hacks systems. Eat less, lose weight, improve output. Very Silicon Valley, very dystopian. The satire writes itself. Hollywood hides Ozempic behind denials and clean living narratives. Musk treats it like a productivity tool. No inspirational speeches, no wellness branding, just results. And suddenly the message shifts. If even the world's most powerful tech billionaire is outsourcing willpower to a syringe, what does that say about modern success? Critics warned of the ripple effect. Musk isn't just famous, he's influential. Millions admire his intensity, his work ethic, his refusal to slow down. When he frames rapid weight loss as just another upgrade, it quietly validates a dangerous idea that the body is a machine and shortcuts are acceptable if they improve performance. Supporters argue he's being honest, and maybe he is, but honesty doesn't cancel impact. Elon Musk didn't hide Ozempic, he normalized it. And when the future starts looking thinner by prescription, the question isn't whether it works, it's whether anyone is asking what it costs when the most powerful people in the world decide hunger is a bug to be fixed. Should Hollywood ever pressure legends to change their bodies, or should talent be enough? Comment below.